Good morning, family, and good morning, fans and supporters for Robert Sylvester Kelly. How are you? Last time I was on the video, I stated because I was gonna that was gonna be my last video for the season, but God pulled at my heartstrings again. When you in something and your heart is in it, it's hard to turn back or to give up, and especially when you really care about a person's situation and what they're going through. And even though it's never been about, for me, fame or any fortune, it was always about the heart of the well-being of another human being's life. And Robert Sylvester Kelly happens to be someone that I truly, truly don't know. But still in all, good morning, Carolyn. But still in all, I care about his soul. And I care about his well-being. It's not that I want to meet him, to get with him as a wife or girlfriend, whatever. I'm here because I care about his well-being. And I got into this fight on the sake of his well-being because of him being treated unfairly by the law. It hurt me to the core of my heart, to see this man be put in the public and treated the way he has been treated by the law. And his human rights being taken from him, and his, also money that he had, all his fortune and everything else being stripped away from him so that he would not have a fair chance to fight in the court of law with the best attorneys, and given all that opportunity to have the best attorneys or anything. And it's just sad that this can actually happen to anybody. And how people are trying to capitalize off this man's demise. It's really disgraceful. I never came in this fight to take anything from anybody. I came in this fight to give. From the pureness of my heart, I came in this fight to give. It didn't matter to me whether I had 5 people who subscribed to my channel. I was grateful that someone was listening to my message that I'm putting out there. Someone was listening to my prayers. Someone was listening to the goodness that I'm offering up in my heart to the Lord. It's just sad the last couple of days of what I've saw here on these YouTube streets. Whether he wrote some bogus letter or not, that wasn't the right way to address it or to bring it to the public. I just don't think it was right. It was done out of a clean heart or clean hands. I just don't think it was right. So I had to remove myself from that. And some people want to say, oh, he's for cows and this. Anybody that's for you and see your situation. And I ask people to use your common sense. Okay? Don't be bamboozled. Don't be fooled. Don't be taken advantage of financially. And I'm going to say financially taken advantage of. Put on your spiritual gifts. Get into your word with God, and he will direct your heart and your mind. Anybody that's not attached to God, even though I know there's people that hollering, Lord, 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 and they just say they fake, fake Christians. They only use God for their advantage, or to take advantage of it, or to get what they want for when it's convenient for them or whatever. God is in my life all day, every day. I have to watch myself as I travel out on these real streets out here and the things I see here on these YouTube streets. And I'm just saying, anybody that's a real friend, to somebody and really truly out to help somebody is not going to bring that kind of sensitive information to social media where all kind of people are watching and listening and setting R.Kelly up for another guilty verdict, or to keep him there for the amount of time that they're looking for to give him, and to pile more on his case and give him more than what he can possibly bear. Anybody that actually care about a man's life that's hanging on the line would have sat down and prayed with a brother and kept that secretly among them and try to figure out another way to deliver whatever message. Not publicly in front of a lot of evil, mean-hearted, greedy, selfish, wicked audience of people. Putting this man in more danger. It was making me cry. I wanted to cry. I cried. Good morning, Cheryl. I was supposed to be out of here by 7, but I said, you know what? I'm going to do this live before I get out the door. But it actually put tears in my eyes. You can look at some people on these YouTube streets. I don't know I don't know. You can see how they move, the characteristics about them, that they not good people. And they don't have no attachment to God. Forget about who you know in the industry and out here on these YouTube, making it in the music world and all that. That place ain't nothing. No, I didn't even hear the letter, Cheryl. But I just heard, when I went to certain channels and stuff, people were talking about it. And I could imagine. From day one, when that letter was presented, I heard a certain name in the letter, and I said, you know what? I can't go no further. From day one, I just didn't want to go any further listening to it. I took myself out of that place in that live, and I deleted. I unsubscribed to that channel. That's what I'm saying. Anybody that cared about this man and his situation, whether or not he wrote the letter or he didn't write the letter, or somebody just wrote it for him and set it up like that he wrote the letter. I'm just saying. And this is the kind of person Kells will trust his life with. But see, sometimes people are at the weakest and lowest moment of their life. They got to take a chance with somebody. I understand that. But something just don't sit right with all of that, to me. Something in my gut. Because I wouldn't even be on this live. I'm not supposed to even be on this live right now. On the sake that I'm supposed to be out here trying to get into my holiday and away from all of this foolishness. These people acting a fool out here on these streets, on these YouTube streets. The bickering, the fighting, the cussing. Even though I do, sometimes I slip up and I say some foul language and everything. And I'm not always right about everything, and I know that. But sometimes I try to tame my tongue. And sometimes I try to be careful about what I choose to put out there to harm other people. Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate you, too. I appreciate, trying to do the good for the glory of God. That's what I'm saying. And you know, Cheryl, when people are doing that to me, they out for their own selfish gain. They out to gain something. They looking for something. They not looking for the betterment of anybody else. They just, I don't, you know, it's like the jealousy and the evil and the anger and the hatefulness in some people's heart. Let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. God is so amazing. God is so good. I give you all the glory, all the praise, and the honor, God. You know, but yesterday, you know, my car been having a little trouble. So I had to use Uber. And the thing is that I was having some, you know, car issues and had to use Uber. And the thing is my husband needs his car. You know, he needs his car to get up and go to work and everything else like that. And he ain't going to take no public transportation. as long as he got a car, he ain't taking no public transportation. I'll tell you that. But I ain't got a problem doing it. You know, because my husband knows I like to get out there on them streets and I like to talk to people and I like to shop and I like to do this. And, Well, anyway, yesterday at work, my phone was kind of doing pretty well. And then all of a sudden, my phone will not charge. There was some juice on there, but it was just, when I put it in the charger to charge the phone, instead, it just kept, depleting. So I said, oh my God, what is going on with my phone? What's going on with my phone? I went and borrowed another charger for somebody else. I said, because I use your phone charger. And the person did allow me to use their phone charger and everything else like that. And still, I was having that issue. My phone was blacking out and it kept dying down and it kept dying down. And that's when I realized the phone was dying out. The battery of the phone was just dead. I was like, oh my God, now this is like in the evening time, like on my second job. So I was like, okay, anybody can get me to such and such a address. I didn't have any, only thing, I don't even know if I had any money in my pocket whatsoever. I didn't, because I really don't carry a lot of cash. So I told them and everything, I have to stop. And the people was like, oh, they had other plans to drop, to go to other places and stuff that they was supposed to, meet up with somebody and this, that, and they made these plans already and arrangements, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, cool. So before I left, I said to the dude, and I said, thank God that I use AT&T, and that's my carrier. And I said, well, thank God I've been a customer with them for since they were singular, if anybody could look back to that. And they were also another kind of phone company or whatever before. And so the person was like, okay, they Googled it. And I said, AT&T is right not too far from where I live. It's right on that same, like down the way where I live at and everything. It ain't too far from my home or whatever. I wouldn't walk there, but it's just not that far, getting there. So, oh, you too, Carolyn? Yes. So, the thing is that I got there to the store. I said, could you somebody Google and find out what time the store closes? So he Googled it for me and he says it closes at 9 o'clock, blah, 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 blah. Because I know him and his wife, they have to go far, they further than where I'm at, where I'm live at. They more further. They come, they ride every morning, got to be at least maybe an hour and over an hour and something of driving, him and his wife together. So he drives with his wife and stuff. So it was, and they so beautiful. I love this couple. Oh my God, they beautiful. But anyway, so they drive so far further away out. And I didn't want to take them out of their way to get me to where I had to go. I tried calling my husband, but where he's at and everything, it was hard for him to pick up his phone because he's a supervisor there, and then he has to go. And I tried to call him from work. I called him from work and everything. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to take the chances with taking public transportation. They said, oh, you all right? Are you sure you ain't going to be afraid to walk over there to the bank? Because these places out here, there's such and such a street. I said, I got to walk with Jesus. I just got to take my chances with Jesus. So, of course, I had to get down to the city part. And I had to get to the bank. Because I said, I need to get to the bank. I need to get to the bank. At least I could get, some money out of the bank, my bank. And take public transportation or whatever like that. Because without my phone and everything, if I'm going to call an Uber ride, whatever, everything is digital. It's digital. So I was like, and everything is in my phone and stuff. And my phone is dead and I can't use my phone. So I said, but thank you, Jesus, that you made a way out of no way, that you make sure that I was close to get to the bank, to my bank, get some money out the cash, go to the ATM, get some money out of the ATM, go find a little store somewhere, purchase something so I could get change for the bills or whatever, this, that, the other. I went to about 3 stores and I went to Walgreens. I thought Walgreens would be open. This was like around 6 o'clock in the evening. Walgreens was closed. I was like, they closed early like that? Damn. Because I ain't never imagined that Walgreens would be closed at 6 o'clock in the evening. Usually Walgreens over here where I'm at, they close around 10 in the evening. But I guess because of the people that, where the area is and everything else like that, that Walgreens has had a lot of people break in or probably came in and stole or whatever like that. So they close early for the safety of people that work there, for the safety of the store or whatever. Or to make sure they protect the merchandise and everything in the store, because there's some shady people downtown in the city of Wilmington. So I was like, Dad, they closed early. So I went to this other store. It was like another convenient little store in the corner. They were closed early. And I was like, Dad, ain't no store open. Then there was this one food place. It's a soul food place and everything. And they were still open. So I was like, well, let me go inside there and just buy me a soda. And exactly that's what I did. I went and bought a soda. The purchase for the soda was like $2, but that was cool. As long as I was able to break change to catch this bus and everything. So when I got to the bus stop and everything, and I asked this man and woman, they both were homeless, a homeless couple that was right there by the bus stop. I said to them and everything, I said, excuse me, what, did the so-and-so bus come by? They said, yeah. He said, yeah, it came by. It left about 10 minutes ago. But it's another one coming behind that. And I was like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then they were sitting there talking. So we started getting into a conversation and everything about how, Black people are today. We talked about the holidays and how it used to be for us when we had nothing. Because the man, he was from the same place like in New York where I'm from. And he was talking about back in the days and everything, when the holidays came and everything, we didn't have much of anything. We didn't have nothing but our hearts. That's all we had. Your neighbors, if your neighbors had, you had too, because your neighbors would stop by and bring you something and look out for you and even invite you over to their home and have dinner with you. Have dinner with you or whatever like that, or even bring a plate of food over to you and welcome, say, hey, bring some fruit. They'll bring something to your house. That's how giving and loving we were when we didn't have nothing. Nothing. We gave our heart, and we gave our genuine heart, and we gave from the little that we had. Yes, Carolyn, humanity existed. And I said, now today, everybody's so greedy, so selfish, so wicked to each other, jealous of each other, jealousy, competition all the time with each other. All you hear is all this materialistic stuff some of these bloggers talk about, like one particular person all the time. Everything is about what they got, and I got this, and I don't need for nobody this, and I don't need no. Let me tell you something. God can bring you live and knock you dead again. He could knock you dead and bring you alive again, meaning that he could shut down your mind. He could give you a traumatic experience and you can lose everything instantly, just like that. Because I was seeing those 2 homeless people, but let me go on with my story now. And I'm standing there at the bus and I'm telling him my situation about my phone and how I had to go here and there to get change and I couldn't get a ride from nobody. Nobody couldn't even be kind enough to go out of their way to even get me to the bank. Nobody was even kind enough to make sure I was safe. Oh, just be careful. Just don't be safe out there. You sure you're going to be all right out there? But nobody offering me a ride. Nobody offered me a ride to see if I'll be safe going in a place I don't really know about. And I'm stranded. I don't have my phone. I ain't have my phone and nothing. I couldn't even call my husband. Even if I called my husband, how was my husband going to meet me somewhere and know where I'm at? And who's going to wait for me? Because everybody's ready to run out the door. You see what I'm saying? How people done got so caught up in their time and their material things and rushing and doing this and rushing, and they taking into consideration to think about another person's well-being. But these homeless people that were on the street, the homeless man said, let me see if I could give you $2 for the bus. And I told him, I said, oh my God, I appreciate that, but I don't need your $2, but thank you. Thank you. Him and his woman on the street. He's a homeless man. Him and his woman were homeless, laying out on the cold pavement, and it was cold last night. But he still was willing to give me $2 of his homeless, poor little wages to help me out in my situation. The homeless man and his woman. That's why I tell people, don't sit up there and boast and brag about what you got and how great you are and you don't need nobody. You making that paper, you doing this and you doing that. And here you are talking down about people and insulting people, even though, like I said about Choke No Joke. I'm sorry I even mentioned his name, what he's doing to R.Kelly. All I can do is pray for him. That some sense will get into his head at his age, being here at this time that God has given him, and God has tested us at the heart. You got to get right with God, people. That's right, Cheryl. People that have not the kindest people. I don't know what Choke's situation has been. I don't know his traumatic experience. I don't know anything about this man but being on YouTube and having a larger number of subscribers on his page. And this letter thing, and he got to get in contact with R.Kelly some kind of way. I don't even know if he did get in contact with R.Kelly. But I'm just saying, I don't know what that man been through. And looking at his situation and making fun of him and laughing about it. I just pray for him. And I call myself a woman of God, but I have to go and disgrace myself. And then you want people to call people to the Lord and say, oh, it ain't even, you put yourself before God, sweetheart. You put yourself before God too much. And you play God. And one day, God is going to deal with you. In the same way you did to other people, God is going to show up and show out. And it's going to come unexpectedly. It's going to come unexpectedly. No pun intended. And I don't wish harm on people. But sometimes some people got to get knocked down to wake up. You don't make fun of nobody's situation, no matter how angry you are with them or whatever. Sometimes you got to look at them and say, I just pray that God will touch, heal, and deliver. God will break every chain. God will remove whatever stone they have in their heart. I just move away from it. It's not a nice thing to do. Even though I do see people that's taking advantage of this situation with R.Kelly. I see how they trying to game off of him or whatever. But when I do give to people, I try to give from a good place in my heart. And I'm not even going to be boasting and bragging about it. I'm not here, like I said, to take from anybody. I came to serve. And I know who I serve. Not R.Kelly or anybody else here on these YouTube streets. I serve the one that sits high and look low. That homeless man was ready to give me those $2. And I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I didn't have to take his. I thank God that I had the money, that I I didn't take advantage of that situation. Like, oh, I ain't got to spend my $2. Let me take this homeless man money. If he want to give it to me. You got some people out there that will do that. I told that man, God bless you. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know why y'all out here like this, but God bless you. Thank you. Sometimes God puts you in a situation to see something, to give you more wisdom, more knowledge and understanding. How to really see the heart out here. Don't pass nobody by. God put me in that situation just so I can sit out there that night and see that just because a person is homeless, you don't know what their situation been. You don't know what their traumatic life experience have been. That man could have been an attorney. That man could have been somebody that had a great job at one time working on Wall Street in corporate America somewhere. And something traumatic happened and he lost it all and became a homeless man. What happened to me wasn't a curse, it was a blessing. And then I come on these YouTube streets and I see the nonsense of the craziness of people so desperate and just out to just hurt, harm anybody just so that they can get a crumb. Hungry like a wolf. And just tears anybody to shreds just so that they can look good. But when you tear other people down, you tearing yourself down. And all I'm saying is I pray and hope that whatever all this that's going on right now around Robert Sylvester Kelly's name and the letter and everything else will turn in the best for Robert Sylvester Kelly. And I pray that it won't come against him. Just know that sometimes people go through their time of weakness and they feel like giving up and they feel like giving up hope. And right then and there, when you at your lowest, God is at his best with you. And I'm going to end on that note because I got to get out of here. I just wanted to turn the camera this way because, it's better when I talk this way, because if I was talking with my face, I don't want to be too distracted looking at myself. So to see if I'm serious, just to see what I would look like. So I just said, let me just point it towards the camera while I sit here in my dining area, drinking my coffee and having me a slice of sweet potato pie from my Thanksgiving. But let's pray and hope for the best to come out of all of this for Robert Sylvester Kelly. Let's pray that it don't come against him, but it will be in his favor. If he wrote the letter or if not he wrote the letter. Let's just pray and hope it comes out in his favor. And I'm not going to continue. I'm not going to go in on nobody and cuss somebody out or whatever. But I just had to share that. Come on here today because God pulled at my heartstring. And like I said, I don't serve man, woman, nobody on YouTube, no blogger, no none of that. I serve God. I came into this fight as a soldier for the Lord. And I was also posting about his birthday. And I already told everybody how I feel about celebrating his birthday because that's going to be, right around the same time I'm supposed to be celebrating my birthday with some family in New York and some friends and want to share that private time of my life with my close family and my friends. But I don't want to, be caught up in nobody nonsense and craziness. I wanted to do Christmas. We sing from our heart and give from our heart to Robert Sylvester Kelly and give him some Christmas spirit and let him know there's some hope. And Christmas is in the heart. It's about the heart. It's not about all that buying presents and gift. But if you want to give somebody something nice, a little, a nice little mug and some candy or whatever kind of little small gift you can give, you give. And this Christmas, I added on something new. I am doing Kwanzaa. It's something new that I added to my life. It's something new. I've been looking into Kwanzaa for the last couple of years. And, I just want to give myself a chance to see how to get into this stuff. So I brought the Kenora. I ordered the Kenora. It should be coming in here by tomorrow, hopefully. So that's something I will be doing this Christmas, celebrating my African heritage and also celebrating my ancestry for Christmas. Throughout the many years of my story of my family life, where we travel from throughout all different places of the world. I don't know how much I could get into it. Just like I told people, I don't practice all of that. You know, like I was talking to the guy when I was buying my new phone, because this is a new phone I'm on. I wanted to try it too with my streaming. I was talking to him about holidays and stuff. And he said, you know, it's supposed to be in the heart. I thought Thanksgiving and everything supposed to be with your family. I said, that's how it's supposed to be. But people took it to a different level. People are now trying to change history and change family traditions and all that other stuff. I keep my family traditions all the time. On Thanksgiving, I made sure I made my mother's best potato salad and my great aunt's best sweet potato pies. You know, those were things I put on the table of celebrating them during this Thanksgiving season, and the things that I enjoy eating that they made, they best specialties, they quality of foods, like my aunt's sweet potato pie and my mother's potato salad. My mother made the banging potatoes. Well, my mother, you know, special dish and everything of my mom's. And I'm going to do the same thing for Christmas, all through this holiday season. I'm going to put the best quality of everything that I got from my mother, from my great aunts, from my grandmother, from my dad's side, and people from my father's side, my aunties on that side or whatever. Traditional things that we did throughout, that they brought to the family, and things that I could remember them for in the holiday. The holiday's supposed to be celebrated in the heart anyway. It's not all about who going to get a brand new Benz and all this other stuff. It's not even about stuff like that. Please. I come from a very big family. And my mom and dad could never afford to go out and buy us all presents that were being, you know, commercialized or whatever on television, on commercials and stuff like that. Whatever we got, we were grateful. We were grateful on Christmas morning. And the joy we had the most was being there celebrating among our family. So it wasn't always about all the toys and this, that, and the other. You know, family coming together and sharing those special holiday meals and stories and everything else like that. So, hey, put Christ back in Christmas. Christ is in your heart. That's what Christmas is supposed to be about. And you're coming into a world that is, you know, challenging. I'm saying you're going to go through some life challenges. And how you going to keep yourself lifted above all of that stuff? And the child coming into the world, you innocent and pure, you don't know anything. And all these people are here to guide you along the way, your elders and your family, and from your family, even the people from your community or whatever that you're going to meet along the way. It's this one particular song I wanted to carolize, to do the caroling went for Robert Sylvester Kelly. I don't have the voice to sing it, but if I did, that would be my favorite song. And it's by Whitney Houston, Who Would Imagine a King. Is listen to the words of the song of this child coming to the world, and who would imagine he would have been the king of R&B. It's called Who Would Imagine by Whitney Houston. I love that song. Who would imagine a king? That song is so beautiful. I gotta go, y'all, because I gotta get out of here. So you all have a blessed and happy Tuesday, and I will hopefully be with you all soon again. I wanted to close out last Sunday, but something in my heart told me to stay on this and keep the spirit of Christmas lifted in somebody's heart today, because somebody's light is going out. And this thing about this letter and everything, not to go too much into it, but just pray for this dude, this brother choke no joke, and pray for all those who are involved. You know, they don't know what they do. They don't know what they do. So you all be blessed. Love you. Peace.